Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to import samples in your colors by inouï samples. If you want a preview on your colors, I suggest you watch the presentation video, the link is in the description of this one. If you need a written support, know that the manual tracks all the content of this very video. Let's start with the basics. In your colors, a sample is defined by a note with pitch or undefined pitch to be placed on the keyboard, a velocity range that indicates if the dynamic of a sample is high or low, a console track that relates to microphone position, a round robin when the same sound is available in different versions, or even a different playing technique. Your first task is to rename the samples so that your colors can sort them for you and play them when you need them. Let's take an example of a sample's name to analyze. Solo VL Trem is a free indication to help you find your samples. For instance, a solo violin played tremolo. Your colors will ignore this information. The underscores are very important as they separate different informations for your instrument. B and C letters define the round robin of the sample, its playing technique, and the console track it is assigned to. The first letter is a combination between the round robin and a playing technique. This combination depends on how many round robins you need. If you only need one, then A matches the first technique, B matches the second technique, C matches the third technique, and so on. If you want two round robins, then A matches the first round robin of the first technique, B the second round robin of the first technique, C to the first round robin of the second technique, D to the second round robin of the second technique, and so on. Did you get how it works? You don't have to bother calculating anything as all the possible cases are detailed in the manual. The hardest is done. Let's go to the second letter now. If you want your sample to be assigned to the first track, then it would be A. For the second track B, for the third C, and so on up to F letter, the sixth track. You'll only use the letters that you would need. After another underscore, the first number matches the note of the sample. For instance, 64 matches a E4. And again, you really don't have to bother because all values and the number matches are indicated in the manual. The two last numbers matches the velocity range that the sample would be played in. If you decide to go from 0 to 127, the sample will be played at all velocities. But you can divide this range in, for example, 3, so you'd have the low dynamics between 0 and 42, medium dynamics between 43 and 85, and high dynamics between 86 and 127. The sample we are analyzing would automatically be placed in the high dynamic range. This work can be quite long and boring, and if you have many samples, I recommend you use an utilitarian. All your samples have been renamed, it's time to integrate them in your colors. Click the top left corner tool to start with, then click this button to display the mapping editor. You can also click its neighbors to hide the other editors. Drag and drop your samples in the dark zone. If you're working with a lot of samples, I recommend you don't drag and drop more than 100 not to crash Contact or even your computer. Click on Edit, then Automat Setup. If you respected the naming process we just went through, select Ignore Me for personal informations. Make group name for 2 letters. Set to single key for the number corresponding to the note. Make min velocity for the number corresponding to the low velocity range. Make max velocity for the number corresponding to the maximum velocity range. Then click on Apply, and that's done. If you have a lot of samples, keep on importing them hundreds after hundreds, but instead of going every time to Edit, then Automat Setup, you can directly click on Auto and do that on and on again until all the samples have been integrated. And don't forget to save. Set the number of round robins and playing techniques in the main page so it works like you expected. For further information, you can download the manual on our website, the link is in the description. And if you do have any question, don't hesitate to ask them as a comment or to write us an email. The inouï Samples crew wishes you happy creations.